Thank you, Lippy. Can you hear? Can you see the slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Let me go ahead, and this role of fact-finding committee will start after the instance of cluster endophthalmitis. So whenever there are more than 2 or more infection on the same day or in the continuous OT days, it is called cluster endophthalmitis, and it can happen to anybody from a single setup or a shared surgical facility or to even a regional institute or teaching institute. It can happen. And once it happens, like the fact-finding committee can be an internal one, which can be formed by the hospital itself. Usually it will have the people from the members from the hospital infection control committee, if it is there already. So it can be an ad hoc team, and external team will be formed by the officials, by the DBCS team. So the internal, I am going to concentrate more on the internal team's work. So here, actually, what we have to do is to find out the probable source of the infection. First, we have to shut down the OT, of course, and then we have to look for the probable source, and so that we have to go through all the possible areas, and also we have to look for any patients which have been missed out. So we have to recall all the patients operated at the same day or the same time and find out whether they are doing okay. And also we have to look for any breach in the existing protocol. So we have to go through all the existing protocol, and for this, the work should have been there on place already, like a proper protocol should be there in the hospital. So where the problem can be to find out the source, it can be from anywhere, from all the consumables we use, starting from the patient's eye drops, which they are using before, and it can be anything, including the infrastructure or even the personnel there, the OT gowns or even the AC vent, anything it can be. So we have to look into a large area for the possible cause. So to start with, first a document checkup. So first we'll try to narrow down it to a particular theater or a particular table or particular personnel. So for this, the OT log should be that it can be a manual log like this, or it can be an electronic log where all the cases enter into the OT in the sequence. It will be logged on, and that document should be checked, and so that we can narrow it down to which theater or which table that infections continuously, whether they occurred in a particular place. And then we have to look for all, and these kind of logs we use in our theater, like all the consumables used in that particular theater for that day will be that sterilization will be checked, and it will be documented, and the checking has been done by the doctor, the main surgeon, as well as the senior nurse. It will be signed out. So that also should be checked whether that day it has been done, any sterilization breach has occurred or not, we can find out. And then, of course, all the consumables, coming to the consumables, especially the pre-packed ones, we have to be very careful. And we can't just wash off our hands. It's pre-packed, so it's not my responsibility. So all the pre-packed consumables before released for use from each batch, some random samples should be taken out, and they should be checked microbiologically. So if any problem occurs, of course, they should not be released. And once even released, once they are used, at least for 48 to 72 hours, the remaining material should be kept ideally. In case of any early endophthalmitis, we have to recheck them for possible source. And any case, like even if it is not there, any suspicion occur about a particular batch, even unopened material has to be opened later, and again, they have to be checked. So always in case of cluster endophthalmitis, these are the most commonly, these are the culprits, the shared consumables. And coming to the sterilization and maintenance protocol, this again, there should be a pattern, there should be a protocol already there, a culture should be there in the OT system, that every autoclave and wherever they are being checked, that the work of the autoclave and ETO mission, all these things should be documented, and these protocols have to be again revised, and also whether they are properly documented. Any breach has been missed out, we have to check. The fact findings team has to go through all these things meticulously, and for this, including the AC maintenance, calibration of the equipments, fumigation, every protocol has to be revised again, and we have to gone through. And again, we have to now look for a possible source. So fresh material specimen should be taken from all the OT environment everywhere, including the RO water culture. We have to take out and we have to check again. It may not reflect this what had happened on that particular day or that particular period, but still we can go ahead and do so to find out any remaining culprits are there or not. And coming to medicines, these medicines start with even the topical medications we use preoperatively, or the iodine paint what we are using, or the drugs what we are using during the surgery. Everything have to be, including your antibiotic, intraocular antibiotic, everything has to be sampled and checked, and whether they are released only after the checking, that also have to be analyzed. And we should not forget to recall or contact all the potentially affected patients who were operated the same day or same time, and also they informed the concerned authorities about the incident. And also when they, like if you have done all these things, you will be prepared to discuss all your findings with them, and this will help you in a great way. And this is a case study which I am very fond of sharing, that how a particular one single surgeon unit only this happened, and it's not an infection which occurred in the same day or anything which occurred as a cluster, but a sporadic, like each day one patient, something like that, over a period of time. And it's a chronic infection, so slow low grade infection, which patients started coming in after a month or two. But he recognized the pattern and immediately sought out institute help, and also authorities he informed. And with a like collaborated effort, they could find out, narrow it down. Not only they could find out the organism, they could narrow it down to a preoperative medication, and that's how, like legally also he was able to manage the problem. So this is the meticulous documentation, and these things are very, very important. So it's a nightmare situation for anybody. It will be like, immediately we'll feel defensive only. But of course, we have to agree some sort of a responsibility is there on our part also. And a methodical approach should to find out the possible cause. And also we should not neglect to inform the authorities and cooperate with them. And not only that, we have to remember all this, we'll be able to find out anything unless only if there is a system already there in place. All kind of protocol, documentation, everything has to be maintained. Not that in a small setup it cannot be done. In any kind of setup, these things have to be followed according to the volume of the work. And these things can save us later from the legal point of view. That we have to keep in mind. Thank you.